Let's face it, life can be pretty stressful. Whether you're dealing with deadlines, relationships, or just the everyday hustle, stress is a universal experience. But here's the thing about stress. It's not always a bad thing. In small doses, it can actually be beneficial, giving us the boost we need to tackle challenges. However, when stress becomes chronic, it can wreak havoc on our physical and mental well-being. In this video, we're going to discuss stress and uncover 10 important facts you need to know. Just before we start, please click the red subscribe button to support our channel. We would really appreciate it. Now back to the video. Number 1. Let's start by understanding what stress actually is. In simple terms, stress is your body's natural response to any demand placed upon it. It's a survival mechanism that kicks in when we face a perceived threat or challenge. Imagine encountering a tiger in the wild. Your heart starts racing, your breath quickens, and your body goes into fight or flight mode. That's stress in action. Now this response is incredibly useful in short bursts, like when we need to slam on the brakes to avoid an accident or deliver a presentation in front of a crowd. It helps us stay alert, focused, and ready to respond to danger. In fact, a little bit of stress can actually be motivating, pushing us to perform at our best. But when stress becomes chronic, meaning it's constant and unrelenting, it stops being helpful and starts to harm us. Number 2. When we experience stress over prolonged periods, our bodies stay in a constant state of high alert. Chronic stress can manifest in a whole bunch of ways, both physically and mentally. We're talking headaches, muscle tension, fatigue, digestive problems, difficulty sleeping, the list goes on. And that's just the physical stuff. Mentally, chronic stress can lead to anxiety, irritability, difficulty concentrating, low mood, and even depression. It can also affect our behavior, leading to unhealthy coping mechanisms like overeating, substance abuse, or social withdrawal. Over time, chronic stress can increase our risk of developing serious health problems like heart disease, stroke, diabetes, obesity, and even some types of cancer. Number 3, here's something really important to remember. Stress affects everyone differently. What stresses one person out might not even faze another. And that's because our individual responses to stress are influenced by a whole bunch of factors. Our genes play a role, influencing how sensitive we are to stress hormones. Our upbringing and life experiences also shape how we perceive and react to stressful situations. For example, someone who grew up in a chaotic or unpredictable environment might be more prone to stress than someone who had a more stable upbringing. Our personality traits also come into play. Some people are naturally more prone to anxiety or worry, while others have a more laid-back disposition. The key takeaway here is that there's no right or wrong way to experience stress. Number 4. When stress turns serious. We've talked about how chronic stress can negatively impact our physical and mental health. But let's delve a little deeper into some of the serious health problems that have been linked to long-term stress. One of the most well-established connections is between stress and heart disease. When we're stressed, our blood pressure and heart rate increase, which over time can damage our arteries and increase our risk of heart attack or stroke. Chronic stress has also been linked to type 2 diabetes. Stress hormones like cortisol can interfere with our body's ability to regulate blood sugar levels, increasing our risk of developing this chronic condition. Prolonged stress can contribute to the development of anxiety disorders, depression, and even post-traumatic stress disorder or PTSD. The good news is that by learning to manage our stress effectively, we can significantly reduce our risk of developing these serious health issues. Number 5. Taming the stress monster, your toolkit for relief. Alright, enough with the doom and gloom, let's shift gears and talk about what we can do to manage stress effectively. The good news is that there are tons of techniques out there that can help us regain control and find some peace of mind. One of the most powerful tools in our stress-busting arsenal is mindfulness. Mindfulness is all about paying attention to the present moment without judgment. Practices like meditation and deep breathing can help us cultivate mindfulness and develop a greater sense of calm and clarity. Another great way to combat stress is through exercise. When we engage in physical activity, our bodies release endorphins, which have mood-boosting effects. Whether it's going for a run, hitting the gym, or simply taking a brisk walk in nature, find an activity you enjoy and make it a regular part of your routine. Number 6. Fueling your body, calming your mind. The power of diet. Believe it or not, what we eat can have a significant impact on our stress levels. When we're constantly reaching for sugary snacks, processed foods, and caffeine, we're essentially sending our bodies on a roller coaster ride of energy spikes and crashes. These fluctuations can exacerbate feelings of anxiety and irritability, making it even harder to cope with stress. On the other hand, when we nourish our bodies with a balanced diet rich in fruits, vegetables, whole grains, and lean protein, we provide our brains and bodies with the nutrients they need to function optimally. So next time you're feeling stressed, ditch the junk food and reach for a piece of fruit, a handful of nuts, or a colorful salad instead. Number 7, stress doesn't just affect us individually, it can also spill over into our relationships with others. When we're feeling overwhelmed and on edge, it's all too easy to snap at loved ones, withdraw from social interactions, or become overly critical. Stress can also make it difficult to be fully present and engaged in our relationships, creating distance and misunderstandings. On the flip side, strong and supportive relationships can act as a buffer against stress. Talking to a trusted friend or family member about what we're going through can provide a sense of relief and perspective. Engaging in activities we enjoy with loved ones can also help us to de-stress and reconnect. Remember, communication is key. Number 8. For many of us, the workplace can be a significant source of stress. Long hours, demanding deadlines, heavy workloads, and difficult colleagues can all contribute to feelings of overwhelm and burnout. And in today's always connected world, it's easier than ever to blur the lines between work life and personal life, leading to even more stress. But it doesn't have to be this way. Setting boundaries between work and personal time is crucial. It's also important to prioritize self-care, even when we're feeling overwhelmed. Number 9. Stress isn't just an adult problem. Children and teenagers experience stress too. From academic pressures and social dynamics to family issues and world events, young people face a unique set of challenges that can trigger stress responses. It's important for parents, educators, and caregivers to be aware of the signs of stress in children and teens. These can include changes in behavior such as irritability, withdrawal, difficulty sleeping, or changes in eating habits. Encouraging healthy coping mechanisms, such as exercise, relaxation techniques, and creative expression, can also help young people manage stress effectively. And number 10, if you've tried various stress management techniques and are still struggling, it's important to remember that you're not alone, and there's no shame in seeking professional help. Mental health professionals like therapists and counselors are trained to help individuals understand and manage their stress. They can provide you with personalized coping strategies, teach you relaxation techniques, and help you develop a plan to address the root causes of your stress. Remember, seeking professional help is a sign of strength, not weakness. We've covered a lot of ground in this video, from understanding the science behind stress to exploring practical ways to manage it. Remember, stress is a natural part of life and it's not always a bad thing. However, when stress becomes chronic, it can have serious consequences for our physical and mental health. The good news is that we have the power to take charge of our well-being by implementing stress management techniques into our daily lives. If you found this video helpful, be sure to give it a thumbs up and subscribe to our channel for more informative content. See you in the next one.